Hello, Virgo. I'm so happy to be here with you in this moment in space and time here at this little YouTube channel. I want to thank you all for joining me, and I want to offer a quick apology that your reading is a couple days behind. I fell behind on my calendar, on my schedule this year, and I mean, this is kind of one of the things I do just to give back, so sometimes it has to take a hit in my priority list, but I do care about you guys, and I do want you guys to get your messages. They're just a little bit late this month, so I am sorry. And Virgo, yes, you are at the right place at the right time for your general October tarot messages for 2017. This is for Virgo, whether it's your sun sign, whether it's your ascendant sign or your moon sign. However you are tied to Virgo or affected by Virgo, thanks for stopping in and checking it out. The format of the reading will be similar to September, where we're going to take some overarching oracle cards and carry them through the spreads for this reading, through the cusp readings. So if you were born on a cusp, be sure to check back. Those readings should be out in about a week. And then the mini romance and relationship readings, we're going to bring these oracle cards that we pull here in the next couple minutes through to those as well. The first one up is going to be for wisdom, and then the second one is going to be for direction, okay? And Virgo, these cards are taking some time. Well, I had to say Virgo with authority, with a little bit of like, yes, and then the oracle spit went out. So here we go. Time for a nap. Okay, so we could be retreating a little bit. We could be going into a restful time. Sort of these short autumn evenings could have us feeling a little bit tired or a little bit wanting to just snuggle up into our bed after a hard day of work or after a long commute home and just decompress. And it's perfect. This is a good card of decompressing. Because when we decompress, when we let go of all of the things that are happening to us on the ticky-tacky level, we rise above disillusionment. We don't get upset over things that aren't real or thought forms that are not even true to form yet. They're just only that, they're thoughts. But unless we do take the time to decompress, these are anxieties that can build. So this is actually a good card. If you guys are tired out, if the grind has been getting too much for you, Virgo, you may need to just withdraw, retreat. Some of you, it might even be to the extent where you may have to decline a project or a client or put them off for a little while so that you can rejuvenate, you can rest, that sort of thing. Also, the energy has a feeling that it could be a bit of a slow-moving month for you. Now, I don't know too many people where they don't say time moves by faster than lightning as you get older. But what I'm saying here is like energy. We don't have to worry too much about big things coming in and sweeping us up our feet. The universe and source is supporting our rest time in these moments, okay, and for this month of October. So it's very good. All right. I get a sense, Virgo, that September might have been mildly frustrating, even though it was your birth month. It seemed to be like take its toll on the earth signs. I don't think you guys had it bad as Taurus or Capricorn, but there were certain struggles that, I definitely called for you to sort of wave the white flag, I feel, or say, I surrender just that little bit, just to like kind of get out of my face for a little while, like let me be kind of thing. And there's also something to do with moving youth into the future or moving your childhood into the present. There's something you're bringing back from a very early days into the present moment. Not sure what that's about. That's just more so from the intuitive sense, not even a card there to let me in on that. But what I'm opening up to is showing this. All right, now for your direction, we've got card number 42, wide open, and card number 32, magic prayer. Let's put them like this, 32, 42. Very interesting cards to see here. And it's really good to see because when we combined this wisdom with your direction, when it's time for a nap, what are we going to do? Let's get to no thought. Let's get to a point of meditation where it's like when we're resting, even if we're conscious, let our minds be still. Let our minds be wide open, and let the essence of our spirit. Let's reconnect with higher self. Let's get back into the seat of our soul and our true essence of being when the phone's not ringing, the car's not running, the buzzing of the microwave or whatever's going on from your family members is kind of all subsided, and we enter into that very quiet moment, those gaps. Let's try and make sure that we are the control masters of the on-off switch to our thoughts. Because that's kind of like one of the first plateaus you get to as you're sort of progressing in your spiritual journey is that ability to have your thoughts on a selector switch. Like, I want to think a lot right now. I want to let my thoughts run rampant. I don't want to think at all. Or I only want to think about one thing, and I want to just set it as an intention and then let my mind go quiet so that you can be in this wide open position, or in this magic prayer, this intention setting, so that wishes can be made manifest, or that blessings can come into our life. And it's almost like it's when you're in between being asleep and being awake, and setting the intention that, you're not going to mull things over in your mind. You're not going to allow the ticky-tacky day to go on once the lights have gone off and you've pulled those covers up. Let's make that commitment to self for healing. And this wide open card here, I feel, is more for those that are in a situation where they're longing for more, they're desiring for more. There is the green in these cards that's to be made note of, to make mention. So it doesn't always mean like green isn't like they say it's like green with envy, but it doesn't mean that you're envious of another person. It just signifies that there's a longingness in the heart for more at this time. And it's good that you have this, the universe is supporting this at this time, to set your intention and to make known what it is that you want, okay? It could be something very little, something very mundane. It could be something very abstract and esoteric. Like, it could even just be a realization that you're searching for, where you're kind of like just asking the universe or spirit guides, like, please show me, please help me understand. And then the next thing you know, you could receive a word or advice. You could even be on some sort of inspiring YouTube channel. Probably not this one, but somebody that is, a lot further along in their ascension journey, that drops a nugget of truth, that you mull over, and you wake up the next morning feeling completely inspired. Something along those lines is what I could see like happening for you guys, all right? Now, we're just going to look to the Gilded Tarot now for a look at the ticky-tacky, a look at what's going on in the day-to-day life for Virgo in October 2017. Virgo, October 2017. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like I have that feeling where it's like things have gotten to a point where it's like you are ready to just like kind of say F it all. I'm going for a nap, or I'm going for a long walk here. And it's like you're not even looking back over your shoulder. You're just like walking away saying there has got to be reprieve. There has got to be relief somewhere else, or something else for this matter, okay? And don't be surprised if you're like journeying away or taking time away from social groups this month, just to maybe investigate new social activity, or to turn off social activity altogether, okay? That sort of thing. All right, let's just get these tarot cards sorted. We'll make mention, we had the significator come out. There we go. And we've got the Six of Cups. So yeah, there is something to do with youth. There is something to do with childhood or children, or a childlike nature. Something, it's not, I don't feel it's so much based in innocence turning to maturity, or innocence being lost in this case. This is more like a youth being moved, a youth movement even, or somebody moving through youthful situations. So maybe you're a teacher, or you're organizing a fair or a carnival where you're bringing together children and many things, and it's almost like the magic is there. Whatever you're creating or designing here for yourself, there's a lot of magic. Perhaps you've recently got into a situation where you've come across some old photo albums, or some old antiques of something that have really brought you back to this place, and maybe you're following that or investigating that, of how you could sort of bring more of that into your life, okay? For some of you, this may be just even the physical act of the scheduling, the parenting, and allowing children some room for growth, allowing them some independence, or the trust that is kind of going into your children right now. Like, you're giving them a lot more trust, a lot more responsibility, just to kind of see where they're at, see how they're responding, and those sort of things. For many different people, the Six of Cups can mean a lot of things, and lots of signs are actually getting it. But Virgo, I think that's very strong for you, because there's something to do with you guys being involved with the magic of your childhood, and for some of you, you might even be like on social media reconnecting with, like, oddly, like people from the 4th grade, for crying out loud, and it's like kind of opening up a new adventure. For somebody, that is for sure a relevant message, okay? All right, bottom of the deck, we've got the Knight of Swords here. Okay, so up in the overall energy, this is quick movement, this is quick action. So I feel that this could be what's balancing out or what has caused you to come for these messages. What is required on your part is to take a step back. Be careful of entering into commitments or agreements too quickly this month. The Knight of Swords could also be a younger Aquarius, a younger Gemini, or a younger Libra in your sign here, where it's like they are ready, they're asking for independence, or they are asking for your approval on something, I feel even. All right. Or they are bringing to you an idea of truth or possibly investment for your consideration. Okay, that's how this air sign plays into that, I feel. But they're going to be kind of like quick moving. Be very careful in agreeing to whatever this younger air sign is bringing to you. It's almost like, I don't see it's their intention to trap you, but it's one of those things where it's like, if they had the higher ground, they may hold things against you in the future if things were to go awry. You have to kind of be very wary at the pace of which the Knight of Swords moves, especially seeing as you're kind of entering into a slowing down period, Virgo. I feel like the hard work is almost coming to an end for you, and you're ready for rest. You're ready for sustenance, okay? But the Knight of Swords, there could be an energy coming you along, just saying, keep moving, keep going, like, keep up with the rat race, keep up with the Joneses, and you may be very tempted to do that or with somebody, but it's not super beneficial for you unless there is like some huge tangible reward that they better have some proof of it when they come knocking your way. Okay? Let's see what's going on. What's helping you or hindering you here is the Ten of Swords. So this is a feeling is that some of you are desiring a larger regeneration, a larger change, a larger transformation. Yeah, not regeneration, transformation. The Ten of Swords is like, it's the preclusion to the Death card in the Major Arcana. It's like the Minor Arcana's version of it, where it's like transformation is about to occur. The major number 13 Death in the Major Arcana is like transformation is at hand. Transformation is occurring whether you like it or not. Ten of Swords in this position of helping or hindering you is a clue. It's an insight to say transformation is about to occur. And for good or ill, that's sort of up to you. For good or bad, like that's going to be up to you and what's going on here. Now, Virgo, the feeling I have with you is that there's been certain things that you've grounded into your understanding and into yourself that are requiring your reflection potentially in October to say, all right, are you too rooted? Are you too stuck in your way over this, that, or the other thing? Do you need to be a little bit more flexible when dealing with this or when trying to understand that? If you kind of like completely say, nope, that's it. No, I said back in 1982 that I would never ever do that again. That was a completely horrible thing, blah, blah, blah. And you're like waking up, it's like, holy crap, it's 35 years later. Maybe it's time to give that thing a second look or to look at what happened at those times where those beliefs or those thought forms were being rooted down into your personality, and if perhaps they have been a little bit too rigid and time has gone on, and it may you may be looking at changing some of that or trying new things that typically you never would before, right? Or you were completely against it beforehand now, but maybe you're realizing like there's nothing there that can hurt you. There's no reason to be that dead set against something when it's just like other people are there, absolved in it or that sort of thing. Okay, so what's crowning the reading here is a Page of Wands here. So this comes back to identity. This comes back to confidence and courage, I feel, for a lot of you, okay? And this is coming in from what's crowning the reading, what's crowning. So as you're getting involved in your interpersonal relationships and you're moving about your days, I feel that you guys are kind of intently hunting to sort of see yourself in other people, which is a very good practice to be in. But, it's also a time where it's like you have to evaluate how reserved or how outgoing you're being and how that is being accepted, I guess maybe socially is what I'm trying to say. It's almost like I feel some of you are longing for more. And this Page of Wands is clearly stating that here too, that there is something about an identity, there is something about a self-discovery that you're wanting this to occur. And almost intuitively that it's about to happen. But it's kind of like we have to mind our footsteps a little bit at this time, Virgo. And I feel like we have to move very slowly. We can't rush these kind of things, even though it's like we may feel that we're just like on a very ever like present precipice of this everything changing, or as we change from the within, the environment changes and with the out. And it's like you're kind of like maybe just like very impatient. I would say impatient. You're very impatient for that to happen, or you're wanting it almost now, kind of thing. And like nothing against you, Virgo, but the Page of Wands is saying it's like we almost have to slow our roll a little bit and say, okay, you know what? It didn't happen today. Maybe nothing happened today that was, hugely earth-shaking or transformational that we can see, that we can notice, right? But it could, when you go into your rest time and you play your day back on you and you search for those little clues, maybe that's when it's coming in, that's when it's rooting in, and that's when it's coming into the subconscious, okay? Is what's coming in from the past now. We pull this Eight of Cups. So for a lot of you, this is a rediscovery of how much you guys love yourself, how much you have said to yourself, like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take good care of myself. I'm going to treat myself the way that I deserve to be treated. And you do deserve a good, happy, productive, healthy life. And I feel that some of you have just recently taken the steps to cut out some things in your life that have allowed you to sort of pick up this Ace of Cups, to like finally reach out and embrace it. Now, for some of you, the traditional meaning of this card holds true, is that there is a new relationship that you could have recently entered into, okay? And for some of you, it could be with this younger air sign or this middle-aged air sign, and you're kind of like in a place where you're getting to know one another. And it's like you may feel very, happy around them, but there's this uncertainty, or almost this childlike feeling, could be because of the love that you're sharing, could be taking you back to that sort of situation. Or this could be somebody from a long time ago in your past that has showed up, and you're going to say like, well, let's try and date, let's try and make a go of that kind of thing, right? But this Ten of Swords helping you or hindering you, this is more so about, and this wide open card, Magic Prayer, letting go of that rigidity, Virgo, that firm, almost Taurus-like earth energy where it's like so fixed, almost borderline. It has to be perfect or it's not good enough. This Ten of Swords is like kind of asking you to let go of that and accept the Ace of Cups, maybe not knowing what's inside of there, right? Like look at the eye, like in this Ace of Cups, like, and even in the old Rider-Waite, it's like the cup is parallel. You can never see what's inside the cup. It's almost like the goblet is offered to you to take a drink in faith. And you can't really like peek over the side and see like, well, what's in there? Before I take a drink of it, I want to know what it is, right? You want to avoid the Alice in Wonderland type stuff, right? But what I'm saying is, on a metaphorical level, this, if it feels right, if it takes you back into childhood bliss, you have to trust it and not analyze it through thought patterns and thought forms. Otherwise, it has the potential to wither up. You want to embrace it fully in faith and in trust in this time. And this is coming through from the past. So if this is something that has recently happened to you, that you've been involved, just roll with it. Don't try to analyze it. Don't try to think about it too much. And don't try to like take too much out of these readings about what this air sign, might be doing, right? Or for some of you, it could be like a younger fire sign as well, in that type of situation, okay? One thing that I can touch on here as well with this card is that you may be assisting somebody as well with their level of self-confidence and with their identity as well. There is this sort of teacher role, or this mentorship almost role that I feel when I see these cards. Is like people are looking to you to say, what has this Virgo done to be so happy and successful and so on point, so on top of it? And you could be like giving some of yourself to help somebody through issues of identity crisis or self-confidence. Okay. At the base of this reading, we've got Eight of Cups reversed, all right? So this, I feel, is more so you being content with things are the way they are. Like, there's this longing for more, but there's this acceptance and gratitude in what has already come before you. This is a card about, again, bringing this past into this future, right? These cards like this, it feels like it almost feels like your inner child is wanting to come out and take the lead this month. So don't be surprised if you're doing some trick-or-treating, or if you're just doing absolutely something silly for Halloween or something, because there is an inner child that's showing through. Hopefully they're not the child that throws the Tonka toys or the Barbie dolls around because they don't want to share. But we're talking about the inner child where it's like you take small pleasure, small grateful bliss in very little silly things, and that is kind of like what your spirit, where it wants to be, and you have to kind of trust that. You have to allow that to be where it is, because if you fight it, it'll go back down into a deeper level of your subconscious. You'll run into a bit more adversary, and God only knows when the inner child will try to come forward again, because you rejected it potentially the last time. So I want to say, any opportunity you have to go out, throw some baseballs at milk cans or whatever it might be, please go and do it and let that inner child take the lead. Have some fun, Virgo. Allow it to be as joyous as it's meant to be without your brain getting in the way, kind of thing. Okay? All right. In the near future, so a little further down the road, we've got a reversal on a Hermit card, okay? So, and that's fine. This is the balance that's coming from your rest time through your responsibilities and to this having fun. It's almost as though it's like Virgo is a little bit divided. I feel like almost like half of you are going to be crawling up underneath and really doing some soul searching and some meditation and some inner work type stuff, okay? Whereas the other half of you, it's almost like you're going to be keeping up with this fast-moving energy, right? There's some reward for you to go out and to stick with it, to stay with it, and to stay busy, right? And it's funny that there's a split happening. A lot of the signs experience their split much earlier in the year one. And Virgo, for you, maybe it was just waiting for, for your birthdays to occur, for it to feel very new, very real, because you're now another year older, and that sort of thing, why this split. And I feel that, if you're cross-watching for a Virgo, you will maybe pick up on this a lot more than Virgos themselves, because it's sometimes tough for us to look at ourselves and, it's others view us much differently. But you may notice, like, my Virgo's been distant. They really, all they want to do is just maybe like cuddle up and lay in bed, or, once they're done for the day and that sort of stuff, and it's impossible to get them out after 7 p.m. And the other half of you are like, oh my goodness, my Virgo wants to go out and party till 1 or 2 in the morning. They want to travel here on the weekend, they want to take a day off work to go to the coast and that sort of thing. And either one is fine, okay? The tarot is saying there is both slow-moving and fast-moving energy here, because you're moving through something. You're working through something, and you're going to have to do it the way you see fit the best. A lot of it is dependent on what's going on in other areas, like what's going on, what you have in other positions in your chart and that sort of thing. But it's more so of making sure that your energy is where and resonating, and what vibration, what sort of frequency it's on, is you're the master of that control switch, that on off, both for your thoughts and for your energy. So if you're kind of like really inspired, boosted by some recent physical health, go nuts, go run a marathon. But don't feel guilty if the next day you say, all right, well, I want to take it easy, I want to take a nap, that sort of thing, right? Okay, now we've got the 7 of Cups. So we've been blessed here. We've got 6, 7, and now 8 of Cups. And the 7 of Cups is a reversal of in what's going on in your environment. So the narrowing of the field, the withering of the withering of options, okay? You guys sort of discerning and disseminating what you want to do, what's best for you. There's going to be some clues in your environment. Opportunities may be removed from you if they're not acted upon in time. Also, offers may come, but they may be short-lived. Again, that involves this air sign, I feel. You may feel that certain creative, inspirational, the days are a little bit fleeting. One day you may find yourself in an environment where it's like fully supportive of inspiration and creativity, and then a couple hours could go by and you're like, well, where did that all go? Where it all seemed to, like, well, now I have to go and take care of my bills or whatever it is. It's like, so time management could be an issue here, or it's just like the coming and goings of people in your environment and the setting of your environment sort of being changing up quite a bit as well if you are in that fast moving energy. So whatever it is that's going on here, you're going to be feeling different on a day-to-day level. I guess that's what I'm really trying to drive at, Virgo, where this is all leading to. It's like most people would see it as like being really topsy-turvy or unknowing or super scary, right? But it's just like, you guys, I feel like you know it, you've been through this before, where certain months or certain times of year, it's like, yeah, you feel different day to day. And it doesn't mean you're bipolar, you're weird, or anything else. God, if we were all normal, none of this would be any fun. But just don't be surprised, like, if one day your energy levels are high, the next day feels a little lackluster, and then you're on cloud nine, and then the next day you may be crying into a bucket of ice cream, that kind of thing. That's what I get going on with that Seven of Wands in your environment. Best path to follow, the Six of Swords, right? Do what's best for you. Only you know what's best for you. Be careful of incoming messages, people trying to get you off track, or people, boat rockers, right? People that want to rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. You're in control here. Just take this big stick and get these people away if they're trying to rock your boat, because only you know what's best for you. This is a great card to see in your best path to follow. Trust yourself, rely on yourself, listen to your intuition, listen to your spirit guides and higher self, which you have a perfect opportunity to be in communion with the Ascended Masters, with Source energy this month, I feel. Have the confidence to do it. Have the confidence that you have been there, you've been there before, you know how to get in touch, and you know what to do. Okay, hopes and fears, we got this Five of Swords, okay? So, yeah, maybe you're worried that somebody could be like a little bit envious, or somebody has a bad opinion of you just because you have been yourself, right? That sort of thing. Maybe, you get two people together and neither one of them has the intention of hurting one another, but because they are on this path of, moving forward and becoming whole, maybe sometimes it can be avoided, where you leave a bad taste in another person's mouth, or vice versa, or they don't have a good first impression of you, you don't have a good first impression of them. But let it, allow it to be, and don't, again, overthink it. The Five of Swords comes when we just when we get, what's the word I'm looking for? When we have a grievance, or when we have any sort of thing that we're not willing to let go of, regret, grievance, or gripe that we might have towards another person. We may not even be able to tell that person, talk to them about it, but again, it plays in your mind. I don't see this. There's no need to be afraid of people coming into your environment and taking things from you. And if you find yourself being a little bit defensive, try and take a moment to breathe deeply and ask yourself about the other person, about where they're coming from, what they've been through, how long you've known this person, and whether or not how much to invest in it, all right? Because, like I said, it could be a very topsy-turvy month. I don't see a lot of big lessons coming in from Source, but I do feel that people that are around you could be coming in and going out, and what their motives, what their intentions are, it's kind of masked and it's kind of shielded, okay? So for some of you, you might be turning down an air sign, you might be letting an air sign go, you might be just saying enough is enough with that person, because I got that feeling, okay? All right, and should nothing change, the overall outcome of this card is the Hangman. It's like, wow, see you guys next month, right? It's like, wow, holy, we came to Northern Tarot for a reading, and what do we get? More questions. And you know what? Sometimes, Virgo, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You guys are number 12 of 12 of me, and to see the overall outcome here as your Hanged Man, it's like, try not to view things, I feel, too much as fatalistic. Know that you are in control of that switch. Know that you are the one that makes or breaks your life. If you want to break down, like Tom Petty, rest in peace, go ahead and give it to me. Break down, baby, break down, that kind of thing. If you want to do that, let that energy flow. Let it go, let it all out, and just let it be, all right? but realize that you are in control. You're the one that gave yourself the okay to have an emotional release. You're the one that said it's okay to put it all under the surface for a day while you go out and you take care of your responsibilities. You're the one that decides to put a smile on your face. You're the one that decides nobody better piss me off today or they're going to get a mouthful, right? You're the one that is in control of that. And the hangman, I feel, is almost here of you guys taking the proper level of control in your life, of your feelings, your thoughts, your attitude, and even your position in your communion with angels and spirits at this time. The hangman says it's yours to win or it's yours to lose. Okay, wow. That was pretty deep. Well, I didn't get too much ticky-tacky stuff from that Celtic cross, but like I said, I'm trying to streamline them. Some of the readings that I did for some of the signs, the ends got cut off of these energy center spreads that I did, and I'm really sorry if you were watching some of the other readings and the last couple minutes got cut off, and hopefully it won't happen to this one. Having some tech issues, but we're going to try and get these cards down, get them out, and have one look at the energy centers here too. My intention for the readings, as always, Virgo, is for healing and for revelation of hidden things. So no change in that. We're just going to have a quick look at the chakra centers, the energy centers, to see where we're at. For the purpose to bring about healing. That's what we want to do. We want to heal situations. We can't change others, but we can heal situations. We can heal ourselves. We can heal others, right? We usually can do that. Okay, excuse me, guys. Here we go. Let's take a look. In your grounding center, you guys have pulled card number 6, the crony, all right? Now, this is wisdom. This is wisdom from listening to your body. This is kind of like if you feel that life is kind of turned upside down or that you're perpetually in this cycle of not knowingness, the crow is saying, listen to your body. Listen to what feels good. Listen to what your body accepts without pain. And I'm talking about food. I'm talking about other people's energies. I'm talking to you about your own thought forms that occur, right? Even sometimes we have certain thoughts and then we wonder why our tummy hurts. And then it's like, oh my goodness, well, you were just thinking about some sort of something that could go wrong or something that was potentially bad and that sort of thing, all right? Now, again, this card as well is saying watch out for bad advice. This month, you might be on the verge of a situation where you could receive some bad advice, I feel, and you're going to have to make sure that you're grounded so that you don't run off. It kind of comes back to this Knight of Swords card that I see as somebody kind of promising you something or saying, come away with me, run away with me. The reward is there. It's going to be perfect. Just drop what you're doing or invest all this and come with me. Be very careful of the advice and whatever you're contractually agreeing to this month, okay? Listen to your body for that. If it feels good, do it, right? If it doesn't, wow. Now, moving up one center to the sacral area, to your creative center, we've got this 8 of Fire. And this card has been abound for almost all the signs when I've been doing these spreads this month. So what I feel this means for you is inspiration coming from far away, inspiration coming through a message from a kind word from somebody. Or you could be hearing a success story about somebody who made a profit or made a name for themselves doing something that you have the talent to do, that you already know how to do, and nobody's done it in your area. It's almost like there is a potential for you to be profitable or for you to get your artwork out, your creative work out in a way that you could become like renowned or the center of attention even. That's a very good card to see there. Okay, let's move on. We're up into our solar plexus. This is our willpower now. This is our lower Tao. It's very connected, the bottom 3 chakras for our physical living, our physical life, connected to this listening to body. And this card, number 18, Thought, is very much so. When you guys are resting and when you guys are opening yourself up to source energy, up to universe, you will be letting go of thought. It doesn't mean that it's not there. And thoughts that do arise, you kind of want to acknowledge them, then bring your mind back to a place of silence and breathe deeply down into your solar plexus, down into your belly. And then if you're doing that, the more important things that really require your attention or that are showing you direction towards something will be made apparent at that time. It's almost like certain Asian cultures believe that the lower Tao in the solar plexus, that it's like it has a mind and it has thought forms of its own down there, and it's like these are the thought forms that, unfortunately, through generations of established kind of brainwashing, we've lost touch with our lower Tao. We've lost touch with our intuitive thought center of how our gut instinct, so to speak, right? So this could be some instinctive thought coming on, like no thinking, just kind of acting. Don't be surprised if you're in that sort of situation as well. And this may be a situation that goes back to these children or this childlike energy where you're protecting it or you're allowing it to be free. You're allowing yourself to act and think as a child because you have the freedom, you have the liberty to do so in any given space. All right? All right. Wow. Now we've got a 10 of water up here in the heart center. What a beautiful card to see here. Virgo, like I said, it's going to be divided about how fast you want to move through the month and how much rest you want to take and how you're feeling, being the master of your own energy levels and your own thought forms. This 10 of cups up in your heart, this is heart center fulfillment. This is like overflowing love that is there. Now, if you're single and you're bummed out and you get this card up in your heart center, you might just say, well, it's not resonating with me. I'm not in a position to be loved or to have love. I'm not in a relationship, right? This heart chakra is saying, pay attention to me. Pay attention to the amount of potential that can come from having this chakra spinning freely and open and healthy and things moving through it. It's almost like you will feel as though life has been given purpose. You will be inspired if you do this inner work and if you see the fullness and the amount of self-love that goes on here, the potential for it. It's like we have to be careful that it doesn't become too egoic, mind you. But if we can embrace that and treat ourselves to that level of divinity that we are, kind of like those, like the divine spark of source that is in each and every one of us. For some Virgos, it's going to be uncovered this month. You're going to make that leap. You're going to make that realization, and it's going to become and it's going to feel very real for you. And I'm very proud of you for that. I'm very happy to see that occurring in your cards here. All right. And for some of you, it's a decision to do so. And for some of you, it may be a decision to let go of a relationship that may not be working because you know that you deserve more, or you feel that there could be more to be attained if this person is having their lessons created somewhere else, or something to that effect. I'm not sure exactly what this means, but there's a choice, a matter of the heart, that there needs to be a choice. And it could involve, for many of you, children and family, okay? Something that's very dear to you, a choice that you're making. So hopefully it's not too difficult, but what the cards have said is that your interest and your own self-journey progression, if it feels like it's being selfish, you have to kind of say, well, maybe it's not so much. Maybe it's a thought form, a conditioned thought form, where it's like you were always told as a child that it was selfish. But you know what? You may be given your permission now to go ahead and do it, to receive this Ace of Cups, to receive this new relationship. And look, now she has a clear vision of what is in the Ace of Cups, because she's trusted her intuition and her lower Tao, and now it's not going to be such a surprise because she's allowed herself to go with it. And what has happened? It's started to ground itself and root itself into her environment. So that's really good to see. All right, communication-wise up, wow. Back down to intuition. Wow, that's very good. We were just like looking at this card of thought and intuition. Now, to have this up in your throat chakra, out into the ether, I would really encourage you guys to verbally speak while you're meditating. This is like for some people that are very advanced light workers or spirit travelers, journeyers. This could be like involving some chanting, some active drum circles, and just completely letting go, knowing that you are in a safe place, that you are protected, and that no matter where you travel to, maybe on a spiritual plane, as long as you're going the right direction and you feel your safety, it's okay to let go, okay? No matter where you are going, and knowing that you can kind of always return. And some of this is going to come through like sound vibrations, I feel. So sounds in your environment, your own voice, realizing the power, the weight that your own voice even has through this time. It's going to uplift you. It is going to inspire you. It may even shock you a little bit about how powerful that actually can become if you're doing it while you're doing this inner work and while you're doing this soul searching. Okay? Now, Six of Cups, Six of Water again showing up here. So this is why I'm seeing this situation with the children again, with your childhood, with the bliss of the, I guess we can call it a healthy ignorance, with all the tragedies, disasters, and things going on, around the world right now. It's never good advice to bury your head in the sand, but sometimes we can, again, adjust that little tuning knob on our focus where it's like we can go back to 1982. We can go back to 1981, even if it's just for a couple hours a day, to really soothe our heart, to really soothe our soul, to really soothe our thought patterns from running astray, from running amok, okay? And I would encourage you to get into that energy as best you can, especially if you've been deeply affected by something that's going on in the world, okay? Now, up from source energy, we've got this card here of emotion, intellect, all right? Now, this is the split. This is the split that I feel for Virgo. And this card just tells me to tell you not to worry. Don't stress it. What is Bob Marley? Everything is going to be all right, okay? Don't worry about a thing. That kind of thing. Even if it's up in your face, even if it seems too far away, even if it seems like it's never going to come, even if it feels like you should be doing more to get it, but you're not, just don't worry. Don't allow the thought forms to move faster than you in any given moment. Hope that makes sense, Virgo. Hope you were able to take a lot from this reading. I really enjoyed this one. This is, of all the 12 that I did, this one really had this feeling of like, wow, you guys are in command. You guys are in control. And I'm really happy to see that for you guys. All right, Virgo, love you all. We'll see you next time.